So in this example, we are going to be adding widgets to a frame and understanding that we can put different widgets in different frames and different layouts. So like if I were to run this right now, right, so we have, in this example right here, we have two frames, one that's up top here and one that's on the bottom. Okay, and I had colored them originally because I had wanted to just show you guys that there are two different frames in here, the top one and bottom one. But how do you actually add widgets to them? And the importance of frames is being able to organize these widgets. So let's go ahead and add some widgets. Now let's add 3 buttons, okay? And what we're going to do is I'll add two buttons to the top and 1 button to the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So first thing I'm going to do is, since I really don't need the background color right now, I'm going to get rid of that. All right, and we're going to, let's create 3 buttons, right? I'll call it button 1, and we'll say it's equal to button. And rather than in the past we had put the button in the root, we're going to go ahead and put this first button in frame 1, okay? And the text, we'll set it, I'll just call it button 1, so that way we can tell which button we're working with here. I'll say button 1. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it twice so that way we can create 2 more buttons. 1, 2. I'm going to put button 2, I'm going to put it in frame 2. Okay, so remember the top frame was frame 1 and the bottom frame was frame 2. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. Add button 2, and the last one we're going to call this button 3. We're going to keep this in frame 1, which is the top one, and then we're going to name this, or we're going to put text for button 3. Okay. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pack all of these in here. Button 1 dot pack. Use the pack method. I'm going to be lazy and I'm going to paste this in here twice. 1 and then 2. I'm going to change this to button 2 and then this one to button 3. And when we run it, we should have, if you think about it, right? If you imagine like just a frame here, or 2 frames on top of each other, there should be button 1 should be in the top frame, button 2 should be in the bottom frame, and button 3 should be right below button 1. Okay, let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Okay, so sure enough, you can't see the frames because the frames are just there as containers, but frame 1 contains button 1 and button 3. As you see, we've added them in there. So even though we added button 2 before and we packed it in before, right, it actually put it in the bottom frame. So even if I were to add another button right here, and let's call this like button 4, right, and let's say I put button 4 in frame 1 as well and call it button 4. So we'll say button 4 dot pack. Right, and I'll go ahead and run this again. You'll see it'll go 1, 3, 4, 2, right? 1, 3, 4, 2, because they're being packed into frame 1. So frames are a way that you can organize your widgets, and this is how you'd actually add widgets into each frame.